Hello, all. Welcome to this very exciting session. XAT 2023 Complex Decision Making Caselets Part 1. Remember, with only a few days left for the XAT 2023 exam, it's essential that you put in a lot of effort these last few hours, if I may say. And what more, and I would say decision making, right? This is one section. Even if you put in some more hours these last few days, you can easily get a 98, 99 percentile. Remember quants verbal? VRC might take some time to make a lot of improvements, but decision making, minimum effort and maximum output. By that I mean, with minimum effort, you can easily score a very, very high percentile. In today's session, I'm going to discuss some brilliant caselets of the XAT decision making and more importantly, give you some structure, give you a framework by which you can easily get your answers correct. So why wait? Let's get started. Okay, first things first, this is a slide which I'm always very proud to talk about. 75 of our learners on Unacademy have scored 99 plus percentile and 110 plus learners have scored 98 plus percentile. This is indeed a moment of joy. I would say extreme joy for us in Unacademy. These are our list of toppers, and then from 99 percentiler, right? I mean, you can easily become a 99 plus percentiler. We call it the zero to Zenith. That's what we are starting. A zero to Zenith batch starts on January 5th. So if you are a CAT 2023 aspirant, remember to subscribe to this batch because you too can become a topper and get a seat in one of your coveted IMs. Now, if you wish to do that, remember January 6th, we have a flat 23% off on our subscription plans. Flat 23% off. Okay. Why 23%? Because it's the year 2023. So if you wish to subscribe to Unacademy Plus plan, do that by January 6th because you will get flat 23% off using the code Parikshit Live. So do remember to use this code because this is the code that will get you the maximum discounts. That's point number one. And point number two, this is the only code, I repeat, only code which will offer you free mentorship from my side. Yeah, you heard it correct. Free mentorship using the code Parikshit Live. Yes? Let's get started. Now, one more quick thing. Upcoming YouTube sessions. So Wednesday, Thursdays, and Friday, right? Jan 4th, which is to Jan 6th, which is Wednesday to Friday. I'm going to take classes on Unacademy 99 Percentile Club YouTube channel, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. all these 3 days. So basically Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And remember, Jan 8 is your XAT. So these 3 days, prepare well. Gonna be a lot of important things discussed. So don't miss any of these sessions. Okay, let's get started. Okay, first session on your first caselet on your screen. This is from a XAT 2018 paper, and it's an amazing caselet. Give it a try. I'll give you 2 minutes. I will give you 2 minutes. Give it a try. 2 minutes, all yours. Read it carefully, okay, and then summarize it, and then try to get the answer. Okay. I'm looking at my YouTube comments. Moment you are done, you can always type your answer in the YouTube comments. Take your time and then figure out which will be the best answer. It's not difficult. Definitely not difficult. Very interesting. Well, read it carefully. Very important that you read it carefully. Summarize it. Okay, that summary part is also very important. You need to summarize what is there in the passage in your own words. Then think about the answer without looking at the options, right? That's what is the best way of solving XAT decision making caselets. You get the answer, you type the answer in the YouTube comments. Take your time, read the passage carefully, Okay. Hey, Ronak. Good evening. Get the answer and then type it. Okay, let's do it together in the interest of time. Let's read the first question together, okay? In the interest of time. Let's start. Madhuri Apte, a busy professional, rents out her studio apartment located in South Mumbai. Okay. Since she stays 3 hours away from the studio apartment, she uses a network digital lock to monitor the property remotely. Okay, people on YouTube are saying option 5. We'll check. We will check. Okay, we'll check. Each customer gets a temporary and unique access code for the digital lock that enables them to enter the studio apartment for the duration of stay. Okay. The apartment's entrance door can also be opened with physical keys, and Madhuri Apte has two such keys in her possession. Madhuri has employed a cleaner who has a permanent access code to enter the apartment for cleaning every day. She is available only between 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. Madhuri's apartment caters largely to international customers. A customer typically stays for 3 days, paying an average rent of 125 USD per day. While Madhuri's studio apartment gets good feedback on other aspects, many seem unhappy as they found the operation of the digital lock complicated. So let's try to summarize it without looking at the passage. So there's a lady called Madhuri. She owns a studio apartment. A studio means it's a small apartment, okay? And what happens is that anyone who takes their apartment or rent get a unique access code to open a digital lock. So some digital lock is there. So they will get some code. If you make the payment, you get a code, and then you go there, enter the code, and you enter the apartment. Right? Now there is a two provisions. One is a provision of digital lock, and another you also have provision for physical lock. Now Madhuri has also employed a cleaner who actually comes and cleans the house, and this cleaner has a permanent access code to enter the house every day for cleaning. Now they say that this house is actually taken mostly by international customers, okay? And the good part is Madhuri has good feedbacks about this studio. She gets good feedbacks. Remember, Madhuri is the owner. The only problem is, it seems, is a negative feedback is regarding the digital lock. Many people find the digital lock complicated. Fine. Question is, which of the following options is the best for Madhuri in this context? Best for Madhuri. Now think about it. Best for Madhuri. What will be best for Madhuri? Let's do the pre-thinking. Let's do the pre-thinking. Remember, the only bad feedback she receives is regarding the digital lock. Digital lock, right? That's the only thing which people are unhappy about. So the best thing for Madhuri to do is to make sure that people understand how to use the lock. Yes? So make the lock, make people understand how to use the lock. Make people understand how to use the law. Understand how to use the law. Someone might say how to use the law. Someone might say, so you know what? Can we replace the digital lock with a physical lock? Because she also has physical locks. The thing is, think logically. Remember, this lady stays 3 hours away from the studio apartment. 3 hours away. So every time someone takes the house on rent, you coming and physically handing over the keys might not be a very feasible option. So giving a physical lock, having a physical lock might not be the best solution in this case. Okay. So the best way is come use the digital lock, but make people understand how to use the digital lock. That's gonna be the best solution. People have said option 5, but we are gonna check. I'm just marking up people circling it because people are saying option 5. We'll see if that can be the answer. Let's look at 1. Madhuri should switch to a physical lock. No, we already discussed this. She stays 3 hours away, and every time someone takes the house on rent, coming and handing over the keys, and again coming back and taking the keys is gonna be very hectic. Point 1 is not practically feasible. Point 2. Madhuri on request should send one of the physical keys 5 days ahead of customer's arrival at an extra charge of $75. Think about it. Will you be ready to pay $75, which is almost, which is how much? 75 by 1 is 3/5 of the cost, 60% extra, right? Think about it. Total rent is 125, and for, if you want the key, you need $75 extra. That's going to be huge, right? So 75 out of 125 is almost like 3/5. 75 by 125, think about it. 75 rupees extra out of a total of 125 makes it 3 by 5, which is almost 60%. So 60% extra that you are going to charge only to give the key doesn't make sense. That is absolutely makes no sense. So option 2 also gonna be eliminated. Option 3, Madhuri should request the cleaner to explain the working of the digital access code to customers for an extra charge. Now think about it. Again, you are gonna pay 125. Have you ever come across a scenario when you book a hotel that to get the keys you have to pay extra? Or for you to understand how the keys work, a customer is gonna pay extra. Will customers accept that? You must be booking hotel rooms, right? Make my trip, Yatra, Go IB Go. Have you ever come across a scenario where they say that, sorry, where they say that you got to pay extra just to get the key or to understand how the key works? No, that's, I mean, that would be funny, right? Someone asking you to pay extra for you to understand how the things work. Impossible. Option 3 cannot be your answer. What about 4? Madhuri should do nothing. A digital lock shall be the norm in the future. Remember, as a manager, I keep telling you, as a manager, if there is a problem, you cannot and cannot ignore the problem. You have to ensure that the problem is resolved, right? So you just cannot say, oh, the problem is there, let it exist. No, that will not work. That will not work. Managers got to ensure that any problem, if it exists, is taken care of. Point 4 cannot be your answer. Point 4 cannot be your answer. What about 5? Madhuri should create a video manual on how to use the digital access code and email it to the customers before their arrival. Absolutely. That's going to be convenient, not only for the customer, but for Madhuri as well. Create a video one time and send it across to the customer a day before they arrive. That's going to be the perfect option. Answer is option. This is an easy one. This is an easy one. Any doubt in this? Are we clear on this? Clear? Clear? Awesome. Let's go to the next one. Number 2 on your screen. Take 2 minutes. Number 2 on your screen. Take 2 minutes to solve it. This is also from the XAT 2018 paper. This is also from the XAT 2018 paper. Think about it logically. Achha, this is take about 2 months. Okay, take about 2 months. Take about 2 months. Read it carefully. You get the answer. You type the answer in the YouTube comments. Check if you're getting the answer. Not difficult. Definitely not difficult. It's very much doable. At least try to guess what could be the answer. Okay. The cooler Deshpande says is option 5. Okay. Gonna check. Gonna check. Gonna check. Any other doubt? Any other कोई doubt है, कोई query है तो also ask, or any other answer if you have, type it in the comments. Type it in the comments. Ronak is saying option 4. Okay, I've got two answers till now. Some of you are saying option 5. Some of you are saying option 4. I'm just going circling it. Whatever you are saying, I am just circling it. Any other answer? Any other answer? Any other answer that you feel could be the answer? Could be the correct answer. Okay, let's do it together. Let's do it together in the interest of time. Okay, चलो start करते हैं एक साथ. Madhuri's apartment received good feedback from the guests, except with respect to the operation of the digital lock. We already saw that. She decided to leave a spare physical key in the house for her guest. Okay, a physical key in the house for a guest. Recently, some of the guests had forgotten to keep the key behind during checkout. Making a spare key will cost $500 and will take about 2 months. Okay, try to summarize. Step one, summarize. So basically, the owner knows that except for the digital lock, right? Other feedbacks are good. But digital lock, most people do not give a good feedback. So out of courtesy, she decided that she should also keep a physical key in the house. Okay. Now the problem is, many guests, what happens when they check out, they forget to keep the key behind and to take the key along with them. Now making a key another key is very expensive and costs a lot of time as well as money. So under such circumstances, what should Madhure, the owner, do? Okay, chalo. Now think about it. Now think about it. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think will be the pre-thinking? Remember, अपने को pre-think करना है. What is the pre-thinking? The problem is, what is the problem? The problem is people forget to keep the keys behind. People are forgetting to keep the keys behind. So by somehow, if you could tell them that they must keep the keys behind, I think the problem is solved, right? Why is the problem? The problem is people forget to leave the keys. People forget to leave the keys. So make people aware. Make people aware that they should leave the keys behind. That they should leave the keys behind. The keys behind. Okay. That's the pre-thinking. The pre-thinking is make people aware that they should leave the key behind, making them aware, collect some money, whatever you do, but make it aware that they should keep the keeps behind. Okay, so let's start. Which of the following is the best way out for her? So let's start with the options. Number one, keep digital lock. Keep the digital lock as the only option and communicate to customers. That's not the solution. Why? Remember, only the digital lock does not provide good feedback. The digital lock is not providing good feedback. So as a manager, if something is not providing a good feedback, right, from the customer side, it is your job to find a solution. You cannot say that, forget about it, I don't care. Let us keep just the digital lock like that. Why? Because customers are not happy about it. If customers are not happy about it, you just can't ignore the problem. Option one definitely is not yours. Option 2, be present during checkout to ensure the key is returned. Remember, the passage clearly told us what? That she stays 3 hours away from the studio apartment. 3 hours. So every time coming and collecting the key, okay, 3 hours coming, 3 hours going is not practically feasible. So option 2 also not possible. Option 3, request the cleaner to be present during checkout. Will it work? A person might check out anytime. A person might check out at 3 a.m. A person might check out at 12 a.m. Will it be feasible for one cleaner to be present every time during checkout? So answer is between 4 and 5. 4 is send polite reminders to guests before checkout date and on the day of checkout to leave the key behind. Okay, seems to be a good option. You are sending out reminders, seems to be a good option. And point 5, charge security deposit of $100, which will be forfeited if the keys are not left behind. $100. Now think about it. The cost of the room is $120. Cost of the room is $120. How do you know about it? The passage clearly told us, sorry, 125 rather, not even 120, but it's rather $125. 125. So cost of the room, तुम्हारा कितना है? $125 है. $125 है. So if the cost of the room is $125, do you think it would be feasible to charge $100 for the key? Is this possible? Is this possible? Pura room ka $125. So do you think people will be ready to pay just $100 extra just for the key? They will not. They will absolutely not agree to that. Also, even if they do, think about it. Deposit is $100, But making the duplicate key is $500. Making the duplicate key is $500, which still is a loss for you. You are charging $100, but you know what? Making the key itself will take $500. Again, a loss. So charging the security deposit doesn't make sense in this case because the security deposit is way, way high vis-a-vis the room cost. So if the room cost was 1,000 rupees and then you charge $100 for the key, then it's fine. But if the room cost is 125, key cost is also more or less the same, people will not pay. Answer is option 5 is also incorrect. Option 5 is also incorrect. That leaves us with only one option. You send reminders to the guests before the checkout date, and on the day of checkout, ask them to leave the key behind. That's your answer. Answer is option 4. Remember, no one will gain anything by taking the key, right? So always send them reminders to guests, and on the day of checkout, ask them to leave the key behind. Answer is option 4. Are we clear on it? Some of you got this correct. Good. Perfect. Are we clear? Are we clear on this? Clear? Can I go to the next one? Can I go to the next one? Jao? Chalo. Let's target the next one. Let's target the next one. Okay. Try this out. Try this out. Number 3. This is from the XAT 2019 paper. XAT 2019 paper. I will give you 2 minutes. XAT 2019 paper. I will give you 2 minutes. Give it a try. Read it carefully. Read it carefully, okay? And then summarize it and do a pre-thinking. Summarize, pre-think, and then mark the answer. This is from the XAT 2019 paper. Whoever gets the answer, please type the answer in the comment section. Not difficult, definitely not difficult, but a rather very interesting case. If you get the answer, type the answer in the comment section. Okay, the cooler says option 1. Okay, some of you are saying option 1. Fine, we will check. We will check if that's the answer. We will check any other answer. Any other answer. Okay, Ayushi tells me it's option 1 as well. Okay, gotta check any other answer. Any other answer. Any other answer. People have got only one answer. Is it any other answer which people might think could be correct? Okay, let's do it together. Let's do it together in the interest of time. Okay, let's start. You are a human resource manager in the HR department of Vikas Educational Charitable Trust. So you are an HR manager. You organize and support recruitment and training, provide secretarial support for disciplinary investigations, and keep personal records of staff. Next, they are describing the work of the HR manager. You report to Diplipa, one of the Dilipa. You report to Dilipa, one of the two senior HR managers who reports to the HR director. Okay. For the cost post of consultant professor in the trust. So basically, let's draw it. There are too many characters in this movie, right? There are too many characters. So who are you? You are an HR manager. This is you. Okay. Who are you? HR manager. You report to Dilipa. Who do you report to? You report to Dilipa, and Dilipa is senior manager. Is senior manager. Senior manager. And the senior manager in turn reports to the director. Reports to the director. Right? That's the hierarchy. Now they are saying for the post of consultant professor in the trust, two internal candidates, Rana and Chavan, were interviewed. Mr. Charan was selected as he was considered to be academically gifted with impressive leadership skills, even though he has less experience than the other. Okay. 3 days later, Mr. Rana came to your office complaining that the selection was unfair as he has more experience than Mr. Charan. Okay. So let's try to summarize the story. That's what we always do. Even Jasmeet says option 1. We'll check. Let's try to summarize the story. The story is you are an HR manager, you report to a senior manager, and the senior manager in turn report to a director. All right? The problem is two people were interviewed for the job. One guy was superb, he was academically brilliant, impressive, okay, but very less experience. And what you did, you actually selected this academically brilliant guy. Now, the other fellow who did not get selected, he was a very senior guy, lot of experience. He comes to the office and he starts complaining that the selection was unfair and that he has more experience than the guy who got selected. Right? Question is, which of the following way is the best way to handle the issue raised by Rana? Rana is the guy who is complaining. So obviously, think about, we are going to do a pre-think. We are always do a pre-think. What is a pre-think? What is a pre-think? Pre-think means I'm trying to figure out what the answer could be without looking at the options. I'll not look at the options. Just think. The problem, what is the problem? The problem is someone comes and complains that the selection is unfair. Selection is unfair is the complaint. So how do you handle the situation? The best way to handle the situation could be, you know what? Show him or prove him that the process is fair. Prove that process is fair. Will you agree? Why? Because the main complaint is the process is unfair. So as an HR, your job is to prove to that fellow that everything was fair and that guy who got selected was selected on merit. If you can do that, that's the best way. Right? That would be the best way. Let's start. People have marked option 1, so I'll go with 2 first. Number 2, tell Mr. Rana that if he is interested, he could write to the HR director and you would act as per the directives received. I keep telling you, this is like a general guideline in the XAT. As a manager, you are not going to skip your duties. You are not going to pass on the buck and say, you know what, someone else is going to make the decision. No. Not only in this case, that koi bhi case ho XAT mein write, they want you to see how you can decide, not how someone else will decide. So never ever in the XAT decision making will that answer be correct, which says that let the decision be taken by someone else. Never ever in the XAT that option will be correct. That would mean option 2 is incorrect. Option 3, offer tea to Mr. Rana and say that you can understand why he's upset. Let him have a bit of a moan and help him get it out of the system. This is a professional world, right? It's not enough to say, oh, I understand you are upset, but what can I do? No, managers make rational decisions. If someone is saying the process is unfair, as an HR, it's your job, your duty to make sure that he understands the process well and he considers the process to be fair. Option 3 also says that let him cry a bit. But remember, managers don't keep the problem as it is. They take active steps to solve the problem. So option 3 just says offer tea, let him moan a bit. These are never your answers in this. Option 4, tell Mr. Rana that the institute filed the right person for the job, not the one who has been around the longest. Right person for the job. Remember, this guy is agitated. He is complaining to you that the process was unfair. So you got to tell him how the process was fair. You just simply cannot tell him, no, I have selected the right person for the job. That is not a reasoning. Remember, you need a reasoning. Problem is, someone is complaining, process was unfair. So you got to reason them out that the process was fair. You simply can't make a blanket statement that you are not the right candidate. I chose the right candidate. That's never a way of solving the issue at hand. Option 4 can never be your answer. I think I saw some of you marking option 4, but that's not your answer. 5. One Mr. Rana that is complaint be construed, interpreted as misdemeanor, something like dishonesty, and held against him in the next promotion cycle. That's not. Managers don't want. Managers don't fight. Managers make logical decisions, give logical reasoning answers, right? So option 5 also cannot be your answer. Answer is option 1. Tell the guy that you empathize with him. Empathize means we feel the pain. But you know what? The process was fair. Remember, the charge was the process is unfair. So you're going to tell him the process is fair and tell him how it was fair. So share the details of the assessment with him. That's going to be your answer. That's going to be the best answer. Answer for question 3 is option 1. Are we clear on this? Are we clear on this? Any doubt in this? Are we clear? Clear? Awesome. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Okay. XAT 2019 continued. XAT 2019 continued. Take 2 minutes, all yours. Take 2 minutes, all yours. Not difficult. You get the answer, you type the answer. You get the answer, you type the answer, okay? Read it carefully, summarize it carefully, and then do the pre-thinking. That's very important. Do not bypass any step. There's no shortcut to success. Remember that. Summarize karo, pre-think karo, and then see what can be the answer. Anyone who gets the answer types the answer. The cooler says option 5. Jasmeet says option 5. Okay. The cooler is saying option 5. Jasmeet is saying option 5. Okay. That's one answer that I see. Any other answer? Any other answer that people are getting? Any other answer? कोई और आंसर आ रहा है किसी को? Any other answer that you are getting? It's not difficult, mind you. It's not difficult. Okay. I think in the interest of time, we are going to do this together. In the interest of time, we are going to do this together. So please concentrate. It's going to be my turn now. Let's start. Miss Dilipa has asked you to conduct a non-teaching staff induction training. Non-teaching. So it could be like the admin person. It could be like the finance guy. It could be like an operation guy. Someone who is not an educator, right? So they're asking you to conduct a induction training. You are to call for a tender from various agencies with specifications that include the contents, duration, experience, budget, and other relevant information. You then need to shortlist 5 agencies on the list of 20 and make a presentation within 2 days. So remember, as an HR, you are supposed to conduct an induction. So what they are saying, you're going to ask for a tender. Tender is a lot of people are saying, oh, I can do it, I can do it. So they are going to tell you what should be the contents of the training, what will be the duration of the training, experience, budget, and probably out of all these 20 people, you are going to shortlist the best 5 and then make a presentation. And then make a presentation within 2 days. How did you select the 5? Right? How did you select the 5 out of 20? That's the query. That's the query. So review the following responses. Rate all 20 agencies on a scale of 1 to 5 on information available and select the top 5. Okay, not a bad option. Select the 5 lowest bids based on the price quoted. Okay, cheapest one you're going to choose. Seek selection criteria from Dilipa and the HR director and shortlist the bidders accordingly. Okay. Follow the advice of a person who has completed a similar task. Select the best of the following responses in the descending order of effectiveness. So basically, you got to select 5 10, five of them, right? So you got to select five tenders out of the 20. You got to shortlist five. And they are saying, what are the criteria on the basis of which you are going to do the shortlist? What are the criteria? So they are going to want, they want you to mark the answer in decreasing order of effectiveness. Matlab, most effective will be leftmost, and then you would have least effective, and then you would have least, right? Even if you do a pre-thinking, think about it. I have got four options. I'm just trying to do a pre-thinking. Answer has got three. Answer has got three. So out of the four, you got to select the top three. Which one can you eliminate? I think that'll be an easy way to start. That's my pre-thinking. So my pre-thinking will tell me, and I keep telling you in my class, managers never blindly follow what others have done. Whatever they do is based on solid reasons. Whatever they do is based on solid reasons. Out of the four options, there is one option where the manager simply follows because someone else did it. That can never happen in the XAT decision making. Never ever will the manager do something just because someone else is doing. ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा कि मोदी जी बोलेगा I am doing it, why? Because US is doing it. Never ever. So out of the four options given, point number four, right? Response number four definitely will be the last one. And अपने को तीन select करना है. Out of the four, select three. So four can never ever be a part of your answer because it says simply follow what others have done. Never ever. So if four cannot be a part of your answer, option two eliminated, option three eliminated. So two and three are gone. Option one is also eliminated because it is gone. So out of option four and five, I got to select one of the options. Now think about it. Out of the remaining three pointers, which do you think is going to be most effective? You got to shortlist five people. You are an HR manager, you got to shortlist five people out of 20, five tenders out of 20. I would say the best one would be to consult your boss. What should be the selection criteria? Don't you think? Someone is saying select five out of the 20. So shouldn't you ask him on what basis am I gonna select the five? What should be the selection criteria? Can you provide your inputs? Yes. So I would say among the three, the option that talks about check the selection criteria from your bosses and the director and then shortlist the winner, definitely gonna be number one. It's gonna be the first and the most effective option. So three is gonna be most effective. Among the answer options remaining, only option five is there. That's gonna be yours. What is three? Clarify the criteria. Then option one is rate every agency on a scale to 1 up to 5 and then select the best five. Best five, right? And then the next one will be select the five lowest bids based on price code. Remember, तुमको लग रहा होगा यार सस्ता वाला को क्यों नहीं लिया सबसे ऊपर? Remember, companies don't select just based on price. Price is just one factor. It probably might influence you and me. Do you think price is a criteria which a country might look at it? No, right? Tomorrow, if Modi ji is seeking a proposal, definitely price will be one factor, but would it be the only factor? So answer is option 5. Answer is option 5. That's going to be your answer for this question. Clear? Chalo. Let's target the next one. Let's target the next one. Number 5. Check this out. 2 minutes, all yours. 2 minutes, all yours. 2 minutes. It's not difficult. It's definitely not difficult. You get the answer, you type the answer, okay? Read it carefully. Read it carefully. Getting the answer? Okay, I see people marking the answers already. So the cooler says option 2. Okay, cooler is saying option 2. Fine, we are going to figure out if that's the answer. Let's say any other answer. Some of you are saying option 2. Okay, any other answer. Read it carefully, summarize it, pre-think it, otherwise you will go wrong. Shikhar is saying option 5. Shikhar is saying option 5. Okay, I have got two answers till now. I have got two answers till now, option 2 and option 5. Any other answer? Any other answer? Any other answer? Any other answer? I'm looking at my YouTube comments. If there is any other answer that you feel could be the correct answer, please type in the comments. Yes? Okay. I don't see any other answer, and in the interest of time, we will start solving this together. So let's start. Let's start. Okay. The Vikas Trust has recently been plagued. Plagued, matlab? It's a problem, right? It's some problem. They are facing a problem by a high turnover of teaching assistants, with many looking for high salary and better facilities. What is the meaning of turnover? Turnover means people leaving the organization, resigning. So there's some trust where people are leaving, where the teachers are leaving. Why? Because they are getting higher salary and better facilities somewhere else. You have been asked to design and run a campaign to attract and appoint 10 teaching assistants. Okay. One of your measure of success will be the retention of the new recruits. You have 4 weeks for the interview. So remember, teachers are leaving. So I'm trying to summarize what I read. Teachers are leaving, and someone is saying, the job is now yours. You got to design a ad. Okay, design an ad, run an ad, get some best people. But you know what? One of the criteria is how long do they stay back in the trust? How long they stay back with us? Right? It's the retention. So, and then you have 4 weeks for the interview. So, how will you design the ad, create the ad, and then recruit people such that they are going to stay back with you? Okay. There are 4 options. Review the following. Question is, select the best of the following responses in the descending order of effectiveness. Descending order of effectiveness मतलब क्या? Most appropriate to least appropriate. To least appropriate. Now think about it. Now think about it. Ayushi is saying option 2. Okay. Now think about it. Most appropriate से least appropriate जाना है, and out of the 4, I got to select the top 3. I got to select the top 3. I'm doing a pre-thinking. I am doing a pre-thinking. So my pre-thinking, what is the meaning of pre-thinking? Pre-thinking simply means trying to get the answer, trying to think about the answer without looking at the options. So my way of thinking would be probably your campaign should focus on long-term values. Long-term values, right? Long-term values. Your campaign should talk about some of the values which are beyond salary and better facilities. Long-term values, don't you think? Why? Because a criteria of your success is the retention of people. You might get people, but tomorrow if they leave, then your campaign fails, then you are not successful. So for you to ensure that people stay long term, the only thing which you can check is if people agree with your way of thinking, if people agree to the value system, right? The value system is very important. So can I say pick candidates? Pick candidates. Would you agree? I would say pick candidates who who have who show long-term willingness, who show long-term willingness to stay back, long-term willingness. And how will you determine long-term willingness? Probably through talks, through values, right? Long-term willingness to stay back. What do I mean by value? Value means, let's say there's a guy who loves to teach, he's very passionate about teaching. Will he stay back? High chances. But if you get a guy who has come just because of money, what happens? Within 1 or 2 months, he might leave if someone else is paying more. So you look at the long-term willingness, and long-term willingness can only be determined if you talk about, let's say, their value system, their personalities, right? Things over and above salary, right? Okay. Out of the 4, got to select the top three. Let's start. Statement one. What is it one saying? Shortlist appropriate candidates who reflect values of the trust from among respondents to your wide advertisement campaign. Good. I mean, it's a good way. It talks about values, and values are important because these are long term. Remember, values don't change overnight. If someone believes in the values of the trust, he's definitely gonna be staying back. Good point. Point number one is definitely good. What about two? Design an ad that attracts candidates with values that matches the trust. Release it in an appropriate time and revalidate the candidate's credentials at the time of shortlisting. Again, a good point. Remember, you have been asked to design and run an ad. You have been asked to design and run a campaign, right? So for that, if you're designing an ad that would attract that, you know what? We believe in giving the best education system. We believe in creating the best mind, something like that. You create an ad that attracts candidates with values. Point two is also really good. Point two, see, I'm not trying to say which point is more appropriate. I'm not doing that. But first, what I'm trying to check is other points appropriate. Two is also appropriate. Remember, out of the four, 1 point got to be eliminated because the answer options only have 3 points. One and two definitely going to be a part of my answer. What about three? Repeat the process that was followed by the trust last time. Not a very strong point. Not a very strong point. If you ask me out of one, two, and three, three definitely. Either it is out or probably a weak point. I would say it's a weak point. Weak point. And point number four, seek expert advice on drafting an attractive advertisement. Expert. I keep telling my students, as a manager, you cannot pass on the buck to someone else. As a manager, can you not design an ad? Can you not create an ad? Have they asked you any physics laws? Have they asked you any nuclear physics? No, right? As a manager, this is a basic thing that you can do. Develop and run an ad. Remember, in the XAT, never ever will that answer work which says that you give the work to someone else. Here also, option 4 is saying you're going to seek expert advice. No, managers are supposed to know how to design and create an app. Ad. Option 4 is definitely meaningless. Is the weakest among all the four. Weakest. So option 4, because the answer option has got only 3 options, 4 should not be there. 4 should not be. So any option that contains 4 cannot be your answer. Option 1 gone, contains 4. Option 3 gone, contains 4. Option 5 gone, contains 4. So there are only 2 answers now. 2, 1, 3 or 1, 2, 3. 2, 1, 3 or 1, 2, 3. Now think about it. Designing an ad. Okay, remember 3 दोनों में same है. दोनों में 3 is common. 3 दोनों में common है. Common 3 दोनों में है. Last one. That's not a problem. So 2, 1 में या 1, 2. That's you are gonna check. 2, 1 or 1, 2. Think about it. Will you shortlist candidates first or will you design an ad first? Will you create an ad and shortlist candidates or will you shortlist candidates and then create an ad? Logical, right? First, you will create an advertisement and then you will shortlist candidates. That's logical. Should not be the other way around, right? You shortlist candidates and then create an ad. It doesn't work that way. So obviously, the most logical way would be create an ad, shortlist candidates, and follow the process that was followed last time. So among 2 and 1, definitely 2 got to come first. Answer is option 2. So 4 also cannot be your answer. Are we clear on this? Are we clear on this? Good. Some of you got this as option 2. Good. Are we clear? Any doubt in this? Any doubt in this? Clear? Clear? Okay, awesome. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Okay. XAT 2019 again. XAT 2019 again. Try to get an answer. Try to get an answer. 2 minutes. All yours. 2 minutes. Think about it logically. Okay. Summarize it. Do the pre-thinking. Don't skip the steps. Logically summarize करना. pre-think karna, and then mark the answer. आंसर मिल जाएगा तो टाइप करना. Once you get the answer, please do type the answer in the comment section of YouTube. मिल गया तो बताना आंसर. Getting it? Ayushi is asking previous year question is best for DM or anything else. Previous year questions are best, Ayushi. You anyway have just uh, 3 days remaining now. You just anyway have 3 days remaining. So please make sure that you complete as much as you can from the previous year questions as well as mock questions. That's more than enough, right? You don't need anything more than that. Anyone who's getting the answers? Shall we do it together in the interest of time? Shikhar is saying option 3. Okay. Shikhar is saying option 3. Fine. I'm just marking what people are telling me on the YouTube comments. Someone is saying option 3. Fine. We will check. Any other answer? Any other answer? Any other answer? Okay. Shall we do it together in the interest of time? Okay. Let's do it together. Okay. Let's do it together in the interest of time. Fine. Okay. Start karte. Start karte. Okay. Please concentrate. The new induction training program has been a roaring success. Roaring success, matlab, it's a huge success. All new induction courses for the next 12 months have been tightly scheduled. Okay. This morning, you receive a call from Mr. Surya, the head of the trust, requesting you to train 8 newly recruited teaching assistants before they start their job next month. Okay. You explain that all the slots are fully booked for the next 3 months, but they insist that the new teaching assistants be trained immediately to hopefully reduce turnover among them. Turnover matlab resignations, right? People leaving. You speak to Dilipa, who wants you. So who is Dilipa? Remember Dilipa. Who was Dilipa? Dilipa was the senior HR manager. You are a manager and Dilipa is the senior HR manager. Dilipa is the senior HR manager, right? So you speak to your senior, your boss, who wants you to deal with the issue on your own. Review the following responses that you wish to communicate to Mr. Surya, who is the head of the trust. So let's summarize it. The summary is you have been conducting induction sessions, training sessions, and those sessions have been really, really good. Huge success. And now what you have done, you have actually scheduled a lot of induction sessions for different people, and it's a very tight schedule for the next few months. Now suddenly the owner of your company comes and says that, you know what, he wants some newly recruited people to be trained immediately. Now the problem is you don't have a slot. You are booked. You have already prepared a schedule. You are already booked for the next 3 months, but the owner is not ready to listen. So he's saying, please make sure that you train them immediately. So you're going to your immediate supervisor, but the supervisor says that I'm not going to be involved in this. You take care. So what should you do? Question is, before I read the options, what does it say? Select the best of the following responses in the descending order of effectiveness. Descending order of effectiveness का मतलब हो गया most effective to least effective. Most effective to least effective. Now think about it. I am going to do a pre-thinking. Pre-thinking. What is going to be the pre-thinking? Pre-thinking means I'm trying to figure out what can be an answer without looking at the options. That's something I always do. What is the problem? The problem is my schedule is very tight. Owner has come and told me that please take training for these new people also, but I don't have the time. So what should I do? Now think about it. It is the owner. So definitely you cannot say that I cannot do, I will not do. You as a manager is supposed to resolve problems, right? That's what a manager does. Think about the ultimate objective. As a manager, you are a problem solver. So how will you solve this problem? Problem would be, could there be an alternate way to teach this, teach or train this new people, right? So you are going to think about alternate ways. Think about alternate ways to accommodate these new people, right? To accommodate these new people. I tell you the best way. This new people is the best solution. Someone is coming and telling you, please train them. You don't have the time. So what will you do? You can't say, I'm not going to do that. What are you going to say? You're going to give out suggestions that ऐसा कर सकते हैं क्या? Can you do it this way? Can you do it that way? Some alternate ways of training these people, right? That's what a manager does. He's a problem solver, right? With this in mind, let's get started. I'm just looking at the options, and options have all the 4 answers. So there's nothing to eliminate. You got to rank all 4 of them in some order, right? Okay, let's start. Let's start. Number 1, inform him that once the schedules are drawn up, it is not possible to effect any change as the reputation of the trust would be at stake. This I don't think would be a good answer. Remember, as a manager, you are supposed to be a problem solver. You cannot be rigid. You cannot tell the owner, no, I'm not going to do it. I already have a schedule. I'm going to follow that. Definitely doesn't look to be a good option. Definitely doesn't look to be a good option. I'm just going to cross it. I'm not saying I'm eliminating, but not a very good option. Not a very good option. Managers got to be flexible. Managers got to be problem solvers. Number 2, suggest that a new agency may be permitted to run induction sessions for these teaching assistants as a special case. I think this is a good one. It tells you an alternate way. It tells you an alternate way to solve the problem. If not me, I don't have the time. What should I do? Alternate way. Someone else take it. But you know what? As an exception. Awesome. This is a good one. This is a good one. But how strong? We'll check. Point number 3. Tell him that if some inductees drop out in the first month, at least some teaching assistants can be accommodated. Okay. So यहाँ पे एक if condition है. If I already told you, people who attend my classes know about some of the golden rules. If there are 2 solutions, one is a sure short solution and one is the if wala solution. You're not sure, 50-50, then the 50-50 solution takes a lower priority. Always remember that. Not only for this case, but for any case. Then. If you get 2 solutions, one is 100% sure, another one is a 50-50 solution, and it is dependent on something else, then that solution can never be the best solution. Right? So point number 3 is a 50-50 solution. Why? If some people drop out, then I can accommodate those new people in my batches. If some people drop out. But again, what if some people don't drop out? Right? So among 2 and 3, definitely 3 is not as good as 2. 3 is not as good as 2. But it's okay. But again, it's a 50-50 solution because it is dependent on something. Point number 4. Tell him that since no space is available in the induction training sessions for 3 months, you as the HR manager would conduct induction sessions for them after office hours. Okay, this is also a good solution. This is also a good solution because you as a manager is going over and above, right, to find a solution. You are saying that beyond the normal office hours, I'm going to stay back and I'm going to take training sessions for them. Good. You are a really hardworking person. So can I say among 2 and 4, I don't know which one, but definitely 2 or 4 may say something will be number 1. Among 2 and 4, one of them will have to be number 1. Why? 2 and 4 the best ones. Now, whether it will be 2-4 or 4-2, look at the options. Both are strong, and there is no 2-4 or 4-2 because the paper setter, the author, also will not give you so confusing options. 2 and 4 are equally good. Anything that has the answer, correct answer will start with either 2 or 4. Option 2 starts with 3, cannot be your answer. Option 3 starts with 3, cannot be your answer. Order has to be 2-4 or 4-2. 2-4 or 4-2 may only option 4 as 2-4. Can you see? Remember, these are the best two. So top two should be 2-4 or 4-2. 2-4 or 4-2, only option 4 has 2-4 or 4-2. Perfect. That's gonna be the answer. That's gonna be the answer, right? 2-4 or 4-2. Uske baad 3 and then 1. Why 1 is the last one? Because it says a manager is inflexible. It says, I'm not gonna do anything. My schedule is fixed. I don't care. That's not how a manager acts. Remember, so always remember when you answer a decision making case, then ask yourself, why is the paper setter giving me this question? What is it trying to figure out? In this case, it is about managers being problem solvers. Managers are always expected to be problem solvers. Remember that. Okay. Any doubt on this? Answer is option 4. Answer is option. Clear? Clear? Awesome. Great. I think we'll stop here. And as I said, I'll take classes for 3 days now. I mean, for the next 3 days, every day. Today was Wednesday, Jan 4th, we took a class. Thursday and Friday also, the classes will be at 10 p.m. and will continue from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Saturday class timings, I will let you know. Don't worry about it. But Thursday, Friday, which is Jan 5th and Jan 6th, live again on YouTube, 99 percentiler, okay, at 10 p.m. Jan 5th and Jan 6th. We are going to solve some more cases. And I always believe whenever I give an explanation, I give you those golden rules. I tell you managers are decision makers. I am telling you that managers cannot be inflexible, right? So those pointers you should keep in mind because those guidelines will help you answer not only this particular caselet, but any caselet that comes in your exam, right? Managers are not going to delegate the problem to someone else. Managers are going to solve the problem themselves. Managers, you know what? If there is a problem, you have to solve it. Something or the other, at least you try to solve it. You will not say, problem ko rehne do, I don't care. That's not the attitude of the manager. So think about the characteristics of a manager when you start solving that decision-making cases. Yeah. Okay. With that note, thank you. Hope you enjoyed the session. I'll see you in my next session. Till then, goodbye and stay safe. Bye for now.